Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is January 27th, 2025. This is episode, wait for it, 800 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, as always, Dr. Gerald Auger, bringing you the heat alongside good friends like DJ Bisek behind the glass, Kimberly from the Lanai, Casually Joseph, Justin Gold, so many good, great, wonderful George Strasburger with a super chat up in Beantown. Even number EP, congratulations on 800. Thank you for the super chat. We got friends like FedEx and Marcus Kyler, MK, Malware, Trini, Augusta Delgado, Code Brew up in the upstate, Port Zero in the upstate. Guys, Steve McMichael in Canada. We got so many wonderful people up in this spot, and I want to thank all of you for being here today as we shred the top cybersecurity news stories across the next hour, ripping apart the stories in order to mine data risk reduction value for our business, for our stakeholders, for our careers, frankly, to be better. You got to be a lifelong learner to really excel at cyber, and staying current on the industry and up to date is definitely one method of that lifelong learning. Also, the networking is exceptional in here. Be sure to say hello to your friends. Hashtag Team SC, the community. We're here. One big supportive community, guys. If you're looking to break in the industry, believe me, you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? This right here is a banger of an answer. And on top of that, the community is so supportive, so inclusive. It's just epic. You do want to say what's up. Hashtag first timer, though, if today's your first time. FedEx with gifted subs. Thanks, FedEx. If you're one of the 5 people who are picking up gifted subs from our friend FedEx, you can thank him in chat with @FedEx, and you'll notice your name turns green. Holla, holla, holla. Guys, I hope you had a great weekend. I certainly did. Back in the studio, thank God. Bring the heat. All right. I got to tell you, in full disclosure, I have yet to have a sip of coffee. My wife got me this amazing Stanley mug, but it's so effective that literally my coffee doesn't cool off, which is a problem because all I want to do is drink it, but I also am not wicked interested in burning myself. So you know how that goes. Morning, Dennis Keefe. Morning, Larry Shermanton, Nicholas Spicer, Tom Bishop on the boot, Megan Gray. Mara Levy, guys, check it out. I want you to know that I don't prep or research for any of the stories that we're going to be going through. You see this one? Something about Trump terminating somebody? You see this one about UnitedHealth? I don't know. That's about all I know is what I just showed you. I don't research or prep because I want it to be authentic. I want it to be real. Hey, Larry Shervington with gifted subs. We got 10 new squad members in chat. Be sure to thank Larry or FedEx if you're one of those lucky folks who picked them up. Heck, you know what? It's episode 500. Do I have any? I have 5 gifted memberships to give too. Boom. I'll give 5 too. Woo! 5 more. 15. Let's go. Space Tacos, happy show with the super chat. Thanks, Space Tacos.
We just become best friends.
Looks like it's going to be one of those episodes. Everybody buckle up. Now, before we get into it, I do want to say shout out and love to the stream sponsors, starting with Flare. If you're into dark web, CTI, threat intelligence for your organization, may I recommend Flare. Let me show you what Flare looks like. And then when I come back, I'm going to tell you about the CPE hack that we got. What's up, Simply Cyber? You know what keeps CISOs up at night? The unknown. Those exposed assets and leaked creds floating around the dark web that you don't even know about? Well, that's where Flare steps in. Think of Flare as your organization's amazing threat hunting capability, continuously scanning both clear and dark web for exposed enterprise assets, leaked secrets, and even compromised credentials being sold in private channels. Their cutting-edge platform, powered by transparent, generative AI, prioritizes real threats so your team can take immediate action. Stop playing catch-up with threat actors. Get ahead with Flare's threat exposure management capability. Don't take my word for it. Visit try.flare.io/simplycyber and try it for yourself. Thank you very much, Flare, for hooking us up. Flare.io. I use them. I like them. They're awesome. Guys, I want you to know every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot right? Space Tacos. Oh, by the way, Space Tacos with gifted subs. B-Dubs with gifted subs. Thank you all.
Did we just become best friends?
For the gifted subs. Also, if your name's B-Dubs in chat, B-Dubs, this is the flag. I will be mailing it today. All right. We are off and running. Every episode, half a CPE. Say what's up in chat. Hashtag Team SC. Hashtag first timer if it's your first time. Whatever it is, but say it. Grab a screenshot and file it away. It'll be timestamped because it's a file. And once a year, count up the screenshots, divide by 2, or multiply by 0.5. Your adventure, your choice. And then when you're done, just count them up, and those are your CPs. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Are we close to a new emote? We can be. Here's the thing. Really quickly, Haircut Fish. I don't think we're close to unlocking a new emote. Fleet us with gifted subs. Holy crap.
We just become best friends.
All right, but we can overwrite an existing emote if there's one that we don't use. I feel like we don't use the Flaming Donkey one very often. There's a couple others like Hacker Man. We don't use this guy very often. So we have slots we can overwrite. Let us know, chat. All right. Let me do this. The show is also brought to you by... Who else is it brought to you by? Threat Locker. Threat Locker. I'll be at the Threat Locker Zero Trust World event in Florida in a few weeks alongside Kimberly Can Fix It and Josh Mason. Let's get word from Threat Locker. When we come back, we're going to get right into the news, okay? I hope everyone had a great week. Happy 800. Oh, Space Tacos likes herself some Flaming Donkey. All right, well, we won't touch the Space Talk. We won't touch. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. All right, we are off and running, guys. Woo! All right. I'm super excited. Let's get into it. Episode 800. Gifted subs all over the place. Community love. Squad memberships. Guys, it's nice to be back in the studio. As soon as this coffee kicks in, I'm going to be off and running myself. But for now, I'd like everyone to sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the wash over us in an awesome way. See you at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, January 27th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. DHS Advisory Committee memberships halted. In swift changes to the U.S. cybersecurity landscape, the new administration has, quote, terminated all memberships of advisory committees that report to the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, end quote. This includes, quote, members of the CISA, Cyber Safety Review Board, CSRB, which had been critical of Microsoft for the July 2023 breach by Storm 0558, had also led an examination into intrusions by the Lapsus cybercrime group, and is said to have, quote, been in the middle of an investigation into a recent spate of cyber attacks targeting telecom providers, allegedly by Salt Typhoon, end quote. UnitedHealth update.
All right. I'm trying to figure out exactly what is up here. So, obviously not a political show, so I'm going to do everything I can to get this sorted out. So, DHS Advisory Committee memberships terminated. So it's not uncommon to have advisory committees, like basically, yeah, any insights you have on this, BSEC would be fine. Advisory committees basically are, think of them as like advisory boards, right? Like they come from different backgrounds, they have different insights, and they help shape or inform policy, right? So if you're trying to make a decision or you're trying to shape something, you might want to sort it out and get other opinions, get other thoughts, right? So that's what advisory committees do. Now, as far as advisory committee to DHS, this one I'm a little confused about. Like, what are they advising DHS on? Like, DHS has got lots of money, lots of authority, lots of people. So I don't know what they're doing here. Members of the CISA Cyber Review Board. Is this the same story as last week where he basically told see, this says it. This is the same story as last week, right? Like, he basically said that they can apply for their jobs back. Hold on. Oh, okay. So there's more. There was an advisory board that included AI safety, critical infrastructure partnership advisory council, national security, telecom. All right. All right. So I guess what they're saying here is, sorry about that. I don't research the stories in advance. So sometimes something like this, it's like, hold on. So this is more of the same, right? So last week we read that one of the first things President Trump did when he came into office was essentially fire the cybersecurity review board individuals. But it appeared at the time that it was not going to disband the board. It was simply firing the people who held the positions on the board, and that they would rehire people into the board. So the board didn't go anywhere, just the people did. Now it sounds like the AI security review board and some other review boards are getting terminated. That's what it sounds like. Not that the people are going away, but the whole thing is going away. I would ask you to fact check this or review it yourself just to get the right details. I will say I'm not a huge fan. I do see what's going on, though. Part of the decision here, I suppose, is that if you look at DHS's mission, the current administration thinks that the mission is too wide right now, or the services provider are too wide from outside the mission. So they're trying to, focus it in on just the mission of DHS. So like AI security wouldn't be under DHS. You could make a case that lots of things fall under Department of Homeland Security and National Security. So it is what it is. I'm not going to render an opinion one way or the other on it because it's political. But what I will say is this is just a fact and an indication of kind of where cybersecurity could sit in the current administration within DHS. Yep. Megan Gray says DHS has a new director, so it isn't a big deal. There'll probably be a new one in a few weeks. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So it does sound like it's really just the people being swapped out. We talked about this last week, actually, so it's not really a news story for us here at Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. But BSEC and I were relaying it to when a new CEO comes in or there's a merger and acquisition, people want to put their fingerprints all over it. So the current staff may have different opinions and not be philosophically aligned with the new administration. So you want everybody to kind of be marching to the same beat. Not a big deal.
It's the number of data breach victims to 190 million.
There you go.
UnitedHealth, the company that owns Change Healthcare, provided this updated figure on Friday evening, adding that, quote, the vast majority of these people have already been provided individual or substitute notice, end quote, noting that the final number of those impacted will be confirmed and sent to the Department of Health and Human Services Office for Civil Rights at a later date. UnitedHealth did not provide any additional insight into when it learned of the additional 90 million victims, or how it determined the new number, or what has changed since the last update.
All right. Well, I mean, this, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, dude, if you have 100 million record breach, what's another 90 million? Honestly, does 190 million sound any worse than 100 million? I mean, obviously it's double, right? Just about, and it's gross, and there's 90 more million people affected. But for United Healthcare, it's like a shrug, like, Dude, that's what I said. There was a story a couple of weeks ago of like 17 records were breached, and I was like, "What are we doing here? Like, who? This isn't even like back of the newspaper newsworthy. We're talking AT&T 77 million, UnitedHealth 190 million. Not a good year for United Healthcare. Breaches and all that other stuff in the news. 1/3 of all Americans have had their information processed in some way by United Healthcare. 1 in 3 medical records are processed, and half of all medical claims. Yep. So United Healthcare paid $22 million ransom to the cybercrime gang behind the incident, but then a dispute among them led to data being posted on another group's leak site. All right, so here you go. This is why, like, honestly, I get why people or businesses are so struggled to answer the question, do we pay the ransom or not? Here is yet another example, okay? And we could pull several. Here's another example where you pay the ransom and you get, it's like poop in one hand and pay the ransom in the other and see which one fills first, right? It's like there's no warranty, there's no guarantee. They don't have a 5-star Yelp review. Sometimes crap happens. You have to give them the money and then like basically roll the dice and see if your D20 comes up like above 15. They gave them $22 million and they got punched in the mouth anyways. United Healthcare, I mean, again, $22 million is probably petty cash. So for United Healthcare, who, what did they get? United Healthcare annual revenue. Let's check it out. $324 billion. Oh my God. What?
Straight cash, homie.
Dude, that's insane. That's insane. $324 billion. So United Healthcare could stroke a check for 22 million and like it doesn't even change anything. Wow. In fact, I think it said $324.16 billion. I really think if you take 22 million out of that, they still have $324.16 billion. God, those are stupid numbers. All right. So here's the deal. Change Healthcare. They're going to show up on the HHS OCR wall of shame. They are an absolute juggernaut, so I would expect zero financial penalty coming from HHS OCR against United Healthcare. Even if there was, they would just stroke another check and pay that. And you, me, Chris Whitlock, Casually Joseph, Victor Agbana, Real Bilbo, Dusty Carlisle, we can all expect our identity theft protection for 1 year letters in the mail sometime soon when United Healthcare gets around to it. And we could throw it on the tire fire of all our other identity theft. See, the final number of those impacts will be confirmed and sent to DHS OCR, which is what you got to do. All right, here's what I would say really quickly. First of all, hopefully you've gotten to a point where you're doing tabletop exercises with your business. When you are, don't just make it a technical tabletop like, all right, Kevin, we've got the databases have been encrypted. What do you do? What do you do? Like you're like Keanu Reeves in Speed. Habib passing Network Plus over the weekend. Let's go, Habib. Nice job, buddy. All right, so what do you do? And then they're like, oh, we go to the backups. We go to the tape drives. We go to the Jazz drives. We go to the Veeam, like whatever. Okay, it's all technical babble. And the executives don't care. Make sure that you're doing tabletop exercises that also involve leadership and executive choice making, i.e., hey, we've just got notified by a threat actor that they've exfilled all of our data, every single piece of data we have. They literally could stand up a second instance, like a DR site of our business, because they got all that data. Now, this has nothing, don't even mention encryption. Just mention that they got a copy of everything that the business owns. Now, they're asking for $10 million. That's what the note says. That's how you start it, right? All of our stuff's been gone. They want $10 million. What do we do? Ask the executive team. What do you do? What do we do? What are we doing? Who do we call lawyers? Do we call the insurance company? Do we just message them and say, piss off? Do we wire them $10 million and hope it goes away? Do we ask for proof of life that they actually have our real data and they're not just some scammy threat actor? What do we do? I'm asking you, executives. And if they're just like, believe me, you start off with that, they'll put their phones down right quick, choke on the Krispy Kreme that they're gnawing on. All right.
Meta's Llama framework flaw exposes AI systems to remote code execution risks. According to researchers at Oligo Security, this is a high-severity flaw in Meta's Llama large language model.
Hey, really quick, CyberSater says our executive tables ops are mostly, and I think what you're saying is mostly focusing on educating the leaders to, quote, stay out of the technical folks' way and stay out of the war room. That's awesome. That's so cool.
LLM framework that could allow an attacker to execute arbitrary code on the Llama stack inference server. The vulnerability, which has a CVE number, has a CVSS score of 6.3, although supply chain security firm Sneak, on the other hand, has assigned it a critical severity rating of 9.3. Oligo says the problem lies in a component called Llama Stack, which, quote, defines a set of API interfaces for artificial intelligence application development, including using Meta's own Llama models, end quote.
All right. I gotta tell you, I'm trying. The coffee hasn't kicked in yet. All right. So Meta has an LLM called Llama. I didn't know that. All right. So it's confusing with all the different AIs out there right now. But there is a arbitrary code execution essentially on the server that's hosting the Llama stack. Okay. Yeah, no kidding. Swims with sharks. Diving board on the coffee. All right. CVSS score is 6.3, which is not that high. We'll have to get a EPSS score. DJ BSEC, can you pull EPSS data on CVE 2024 550 or 50050? Because basically CVSS, which is like the NIST NV National Vulnerability Database, is publishing this as a 6.3, right? And Sneak, a cybersecurity technology company, has a 9.3, which is obviously much higher. The EPSS is going to give us a little bit more insights into how bad this could be. Let's see. We could send deserialized code to it. Remember, all these LLMs and stuff, like they're designed to take open form text, right? So you can't, it's really difficult with these AI interfaces to do input validation because it's literally designed to take on like whatever you send it. DJ BSEC's reporting that this has an EPSS score of 0.4%, and it is in the lower 90th percent, or the lower, like it's basically it's the 11th percentile as far as the total bad of vulnerabilities in the database. So this actually doesn't sound like that bad a deal. Like basically there is less than 1% of a chance that this will get exploited and affect you in the next 30 days. Remote code execution is not something you really want though. It looks like it's because it's using a Python library called Pickle. Or Pickle as a data structure. I've never heard of Pickle. You guys ever heard of Pickle as a data structure? That's new to me. Oh, hold on. There is a graphic here. No, okay, so I was right. The way this story's written is incorrect. It says automatically deserialize Python objects using Pickle. Okay, Pickle is Pickle's a library you can import into Python, and I guess it's used to like interface with objects. Long story short, it's risky. This thing uses it, and because of it, you can exploit it, which further reinforces why it's risky. TLDR, if you're using Meta's Llama LLM for business, not a high chance that it'll get popped, but be mindful of it. Second of all, if you're using Pickle in any of your Python code, I would consider changing it, because this is a, like a realized risk of using it in your Python code. So a couple things here. One, you could, if you're a big tech company doing AI, use this as an example with your dev team around, whoa, we should be careful with all the AI stuff. This can happen. Okay, Llama's open source. Okay, thank you, Gustavo. I didn't know that. Thank you. So even more important then, if you are using Llama, whether, for your own projects or in your business, be mindful of this. Again, it doesn't look like it'll be exploited in the next 30 days, and hopefully it gets patched. Where's my patch it? You gotta patch it. But, you don't want to run, just because you don't have to tie the back of your hospital gown doesn't, like, if your hospital gown is not tied and your butt is exposed, it doesn't mean someone saw your naked butt, right? But that doesn't mean you shouldn't tie the hospital gown. You picking up what I'm putting down? Just because you don't get exploited having this in your environment doesn't mean you should run naked and not patch it and be like, oh, it'll be fine. This is 1994 where, like, everything's cool. No one's going to touch me. All right, CyberSatyrs run into Pickle. It's a serialization mechanism. There you go. So basically, I would be careful with this Pickle thing. It seems kind of dodgy. And if you're using Llama or you have developers or engineers or whatever, a lot of people are dabbling with AI. I literally was dabbling with AI yesterday. I'm working on a project which during jaw jacking, if anyone wants to ask me about it, I'm desperately looking for other people who are using this AI platform called 8N8 or N8N. N8N. It's like make.com, but N8N. I'm trying like crap to use it. It's cool.
Clam antivirus suffers denial of service vulnerability and available proof of concept exploit code. Cisco has released updates to address a denial of service vulnerability in Clam antivirus, an open source antivirus tool designed to detect malware, viruses, and other malicious threats. It is widely used for email scanning, file scanning, and web security, particularly in Linux-based systems. The vulnerability has a CVE number, and Cisco is also warning of the availability of a proof of concept exploit code for this flaw. The Clam antivirus vulnerability affects the Cisco Secure Endpoint Connector products for Windows, Mac, Linux, and private cloud.
All right, guys, welcome to the Wayback Machine. I haven't thought about ClamAV in a minute. If you're old, and whether your gray shows or not, ClamAV used to be the jam. Like, a lot of people download malware bytes now as like a quick little AV engine for like end user. But back in the day, ClamAV was like my jam. It was like, oh yeah, like, I was like IT for my entire family. So I'd go over to like my Aunt Kathy's house and like download, like I'd have ClamAV on like a USB drive and pop it in there. I didn't know Cisco acquired them, but all right. So ClamAV's got a denial of service vuln. Experts warn of a POC. All right. Let's check it out. A POC is a proof of concept, which basically means a POC is like an actual working piece of code that can demonstrate exploitation of a vulnerability, but it's like defanged. So a proof of concept doesn't really detonate, or it detonates. It just doesn't do anything bad. It's typically done by security researchers to demonstrate that the exploit is real. Because sometimes they'll be like, oh, I found an exploit. And the vendor's like, nah, that's a feature. Like, it's not really. No, hold on. Oh, hey, everybody. Just getting this right now. I mistook the screenshot here. I want to announce Jason in chat. Jason passing the Sec Plus just recently. Jason crushing it. Nice job, Jason. You boss. Absolute boss. It's getting hot in here. All right. So this ClamAV, it's an open source AV engine. Here's my thing. I don't understand how like it's going to result in denial of service. It's not like it's an enterprise solution. So the way you exploit this thing is by submitting a file for it to review. And when the ClamAV engine goes over it, the file causes the engine to basically do something it shouldn't and get exploited, which ends up terminating the scanning process, resulting in a denial of service condition on the affected software. Now, this to me is like, yes, this is a problem and it's a Cisco product. So like, let's put it on the front page. But dude, at the end of the day, this is, as far as I know, this is not an enterprise grade solution. This is like a single user antivirus engine. And yeah, I mean, you can cause it to, it's not even, it's a denial of service in that you can't use ClamAV. It's not a denial of service of the system or the resources of the system. Like this, let me just call your attention to this, please, for a second. Like this right here, low key bothers me. Okay. And please, someone in chat, maybe I'm missing some massive deployment of ClamAV that's like it's been upgraded to an enterprise grade thing. But back in the day, and it looks like even this today, like how is this a big deal? Like the chances of finding someone with ClamAV are hit or miss, first of all. Second of all, you'd have to be able to know they're using ClamAV and then have this specially crafted file and have them run a scan against it. And then you're just going to stop their ClamAV from running. So what's your big brain play here? What's your 1000 IQ move here? You're going to push some malware to them, but first you're going to send them a crafted file that causes the ClamAV engine to collapse. Then you push a malware and then it detonates. Like, I don't know. I hate to be such a punk about this. And again, every once in a while I go on these tirades, but like, it's like, the planets have to align. Like, it's got to be like, a full moon and a solar eclipse at the same time. And you have to be standing at like this exact precise geolocation in the world for this to happen. But if it happens, woo, watch out. I mean, it's like, hold on. Like, it just, to me, it's like when we think likelihood and impact, yes, if I take a ClamAV engine in a lab and I take a specially crafted file in a lab and I make it go into that ClamAV and ClamAV fails, yes, that's a real thing. But in reality, where you and I have to do GRC mafia work, where we have to figure out where do we spend our limited resources on protection, defense, resiliency, all these other things, this story does not appear in my threat model at all. The likelihood is, okay, again, this is like more of a joke for like active GRC professionals, but like in our world, we have the likelihood and impact matrix, and like dark red is in the top right and bright green is in the lower left, and we want to be closer to the lower left. This isn't even in the map. Like, this doesn't even register on the graph. It's bad. It's interesting. And it goes to show you that you can find vulnerabilities in, old technology. It's still there. But, I don't know. I mean, is this like, hold on, final thing before I lose my mind here. How, wide adoption of ClamAV installs? Like, how big is this thing? Like, look at this. This is a Reddit article from 5 years ago. How is ClamAV doing our Linux? I don't know. 2009, how to tell if ClamAV is running. This is on the front page of Google. Like, to me, it's like, what are we doing here, bro? All right. Hey, really quickly, Red Toad Hunter passing the Sec Plus yesterday also. Dude, the Simply Cyber community is straight crushing certs. Bartholomew Paul, good morning, everyone. Pass the CompTIA CYSA Plus. Guys, you guys are actually absolutely dominating. I love it. I love it. Passing certs is so hot right now. Come on.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
All right, let's keep it going.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Conveyor. Conveyor has launched the first AI agent for customer trust. So, WTF does that mean? It means the AI agent goes beyond just sharing NDA-gated documents like a SOC 2 with customers or answering security questionnaires. Conveyor's AI agent, Sue, handles the entire security review process from start to finish. She answers every customer request from sales, completes every questionnaire, and executes every communications and coordination task in between. It's perfect for B2B InfoSec teams sick of manual security review work. Check it out at www.conveyor.com. That is CONVEYOR.com. Hacker in.
Oh, hold on. All right. Shout out to the sponsors. Thank you. Let's do Stewie Antisyphon really quickly. And then Alpha Sierra, if she's in chat, get ready. Valentino also, B-dubs. We're going to drop some Simple Minds. Do we have any first timers? If today's your first time, drop a hashtag first timer. 30 seconds with Antisyphon, and then we're going mid-roll. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. Speaking of that, if you knew, I know a bunch of you are doing it, but like literally today is January 27th. Today is episode 800, if you can believe that, of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Today, you can start a 4-day course, SOC Core Skills with John Strand. I'll drop a link to this. I do think he's going to be doing it on YouTube as well. I think you could still register. You could take this for $0. And I want to comment on something. Somebody in chat or the comments over the weekend said, oh, hey, like I think that this class is too much for me. Like I'm new to this. I don't know. I'll wait and I'll take it next time because I don't think I meet the prerequisites. Listen, this is a entry-level, beginner-level class. Take imposter syndrome and punch it in its freaking mouth. You could take this class. You can learn from John. This is awesome. If you, for a hot minute, I don't care if it's John's class or any level of learning in our industry, if you have said, oh, I don't think I'm qualified. Oh, I think I'm going to have to do some more basic stuff before I jump into this. No, just jump in. Like, yes, I don't expect you to do senior level architecture, 3 levels deep Palo Alto firewall configs, but like there's a lot of learning to be done. And even if you don't learn, even if you don't pick up everything that John says in this course, I guarantee you're going to get something out of it, which is something you didn't have on Sunday. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Please, I don't know who this needs to hear this, but don't let imposter syndrome stop you from learning. You can do this. Believe me. All right, let's do this. Guys, 2 things. One, I just had like the best sip of coffee, and I actually felt the engines turn on inside my body. So for those who don't know, coffee, like basically, I'm like a car in North Dakota. I'm looking at you, Chris Whitlock. I'm like a car in North Dakota in the dead of winter. My engine block's frozen. You got to plug it in like a radiator and let it kind of warm up. That's like the first half of coffee. The second half of coffee, the engine block is cooled down. You turn on the car and you fire it up and you hear brr, 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 brr. That's the second half of coffee. And ladies and gentlemen, we just put this sucker in drive and floored it. Woo! This coffee's good. Holy crap, this is a new coffee. I might have to get more of this. Wow. Shout out to the stream sponsors. Thank you, Barricade Cyber. Delete Me, not Delete Me. Barricade, Threat Locker, Antisyphon, and Flare. Coming at you. Flare and Delete Me are playing onesie twosies throughout 2025. Definitely appreciate you guys, because without you, I can't bring this to the community, and I can't get this coffee all up in my body. Holy Jesus. If you were here for the Crank episode, I got news for you. This is very similar. Wow. All right, guys. Every single day of the week, I'm starting to sweat. Wow. Whew. Every single day of the week has a special segment. And Mondays are Simply Cyber's Community Member of the Week. Now, this is a sponsored segment, sponsored by Threat Locker, right? The Community Member of the Week every week gets a $100 Amazon gift card for me. Even when they push back, you would be surprised how many people I have to like fight to give them this gift card. Oh no, I love doing it. No. I've had to give it. I've given it to like people's spouses. I've had to give it. It's so funny. But anyways, I definitely appreciate everyone in the community, every single one of you, even if you aren't the recognized community member of the week this week. I see you and I love engaging with you. We are doing everything we can to make the community as valuable and as awesome as possible. And it's through community members' contributions. So Threat Locker takes a deny by default approach to cybersecurity, and Simply Cyber takes a village to basically deliver value. I'm still working on the tie-in for Threat Locker, but just thank you, Threat Locker, for sponsoring and allowing me to recognize a community member of the week. This week, you guys know, it's a lighthearted joke, but you guys know. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, Wade Wells' mustache. The mustache, you guys know it. The Stash does a show with Josh Mason. Simply Defensive, it's always good. B-Side San Diego. In all reality, it's a joke that it's his mustache, but this is Wade Wells. Wade Wells wading through logs. He gets up every most days on the West Coast. He's active in the Simply Cyber community. He's active in the Black Hills community. He's active in the San Diego cybersecurity community. He is very open about his time he spent at In-N-Out and how this made him the person he is, how retail prepares you to work in a SOC and deal with customers and stuff like that. Wade is inspiring so many people, whether he knows it or not. We just have a little bit of fun with the mustache, but really, Wade Wells is our Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Wade, thank you so much for all you do. Keep crushing. Now, if Wade would like to lead us off, or Alpha Sierra, we're going to get our la la la's on. Let's go. Oh, that felt so good. I love Mondays, guys. Hey, really quickly, I do want to give a quick shout out. Cyber Satyr with the squad membership, but also Cyber Hamburglar. I think Cyber Hamburglar just nailed the tie-in for Threat Locker. Threat Locker takes a deny by default approach. Simply Cyber takes an allow by default approach. Everyone's allowed in the Simply Cyber community. We are supportive. We are inclusive. Thank you, Cyber Hamburglar. Let's finish this show strong.
Hacker infects script kiddies with fake malware builder. Security researchers at CloudSec, that is Cloud SEK, are reporting on a threat actor who has targeted low-skilled hackers, also known as script kiddies, with a fake malware builder that, quote, secretly infected them with a backdoor to steal data and take over computers, end quote. The researchers say the infections from this malware hit more than 18,000 devices in Russia, the United States, India, Ukraine, and Turkey. In reporting on and describing the details of this malware, the researchers remind everyone to never trust unsigned software, especially those distributed by other cybercriminals.
All right, we do have a younger audience in chat, and this is a family-friendly program, so I'm not going to say it, but I will show you. And if you're listening on audio, just know that the classic F around and find out graphic. This is it right here, my friends. Basically, you a script kiddie, you want to be lead hacksaw, you want to be Joey from the movie 1995 movie Hackers, be smoking butts and hack the Gibson so your peers find you super cool. Go download some malware builders. You literally have no idea what you're doing. You're just clicking on things because you're going to be the next ransomware threat actor. And guess what happens? You are a victim. You get punched in the grill. And can I point out, this is like the perfect crime, by the way. Like Flaming Donkey, it does operate in this space. The APT Flaming Donkey. Listen, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? You're going to call the police? Hey, I downloaded some malware builders because I was going to be a criminal, and instead I got. Can I get some justice? I don't know why I say that in a nasally nerd sound way, but like, this is perfect. This is like selling criminals or like selling bad drugs or something, like, or like fake drugs, like baby Tylenol, and you're like, oh, I got kilos for days. Get the scales. Right? Like, who are you going to call? Who are you going to complain to? I mean, I will say there's no honor among thieves, okay? And this is kind of low-key funny that it says hacker infects 18,000 script kiddies. It's just a criminal. It's just a criminal. By the way, no matter what, like, threat actors usually have to like trick victims into downloading and installing malware. In this instance, no matter what the pop-up said, like, oh, this is evil, oh, this is bad, click right through. Even to the point where if your EDR solution or your ClamAV, if you're that guy, if your ClamAV goes off and it says, oh, there's malware, all they're going to say is, yeah, of course there's malware. It's a malware builder, you idiot. It's full of malware, obviously. It's going to fire off. Just disable your AV. Disable your EDR. Oh, that's interesting. Really quickly, we've got an update in chat. And this is another reason why I love the Simply Cyber community. The Pain squad member. The Pain says he's a former law enforcement officer. And he said criminals will absolutely call the cops on other criminals for stuff like that. So I guess it does happen. I would have to assume that the police are, I don't know, The Pain, can you comment? I mean, are the police willing to take a statement and investigate it, or what? How does this work? Like when the crime is about committing crime, how does that work? Like, oh, I was going to rob a bank, and then this guy sold me a fake, like underground, AR or something. I don't know, man. Luke Canfield says there's a case in West Virginia some time ago where a guy called the cops because someone stole their greenhouse equipment for his weed farm. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so funny. Chill, Winston. You're carrying a half, a bag of fertilizer and a half passed out woman. Alarm bells are ringing. We're running a weed farm. You guys ever see the movie Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? Absolute classic.
Hundreds of fake Reddit sites push Llama stealer malware. More than 1,000 web pages are being distributed that mimic Reddit and the WeTransfer file service, and both are conduits for the Llama stealer malware. The pages include a fake discussion thread on a specific topic in a manner that resembles Reddit. It uses natural online chatting styles, and the creator of these threads then
I'm sorry, you guys are 100% right, and thanks for those using the emotes, Kimberly and Haircut Fish.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
asks for help to download a specific tool. Another user offers to help by uploading it to WeTransfer and sharing the link, and a third thanks that user for helping make everything appear legitimate. The fake WeTransfer page downloads the Llama Stealer malware.
All right. Oh, nice. Elliot Matisse uses the chill Winston phrase often. I always say it to my son because my son's name's Grayson, or one of my sons. And I'll be like, chill, Grayson. And he's like, Dad, why do you sound like that? Oh. Also, fun fact, I used the term phantom tax yesterday correctly. And my 9-year-old turned to his brother and said, Grayson, we trained Dad right. Like he was like a proud dad, and I had just like rode my bike without help or training wheels or something. My 9-year-old, he's like, we did good, Grayson. We did good. I'm like Gen Z qualified. All right, guys, it is not that hard to wholesale mass post on forums or on social media. Like, I mean, bot farms do it. There's tons of, dude, you can go on Fiverr right now. I actually did some research on this a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Jay Crypto and Casually Joseph for their insights into this. But I went on Fiverr or one of those sites, like the gig worker sites or whatever. Not for me. Somebody was asking about it. But like you can literally buy like follows or on Twitter and stuff. And they're like legit follows, but it's like they farm it out to these warehouses out in Vietnam, and it's just Korea. And it's just like people have like 1,000 phones in front of them and they're just like touching. So it's all real organic interactions, but it's totally like manufactured. So it's, you can do it with software. You can do it with humans. Anyways, there's this idea of like mob mentality and, oh, if there's 100 people talking about it, then it must be legit. Like look at FTX's, the former crypto trading platform. Look at FTX's entire like marketing campaign. The whole thing was bullcrap, but they hired like Tom Brady and, Matt Damon and all these other like super A-listers to pump FTX or pump crypto.com, right? It's all a thing. You're like, oh, these people are into it. Like lots of people are into it. Or you see like everybody's online talking about whatever, AI operators or whatever. And you're like, oh, I got to get it on that. So there's this like human psychology of a mob mentality and not wanting, FOMO, not wanting to miss out on what everybody's talking about. And so when you get hundreds of people talking about it in Reddit, you get all frothed up. And what ends up happening is people download info stealers. Dude, you know what? I got to tell you really quickly, hat tip to the threat actors. Chris Whitlock, I know you have this on speed dial. Chris Whitlock, can you grab me with the tuxedo on going? Chris Whitlock uses this on me all the time. Basically, hat tip to the threat actors, because tricking people into running malware has always been the name of the game, right? And usually you try to like, be deceptive and shuck and jive and, move around. And then in other times you just do like this right here, back-to-back stories. Hey, kid, you want to make some free money and not have to do any work? Download this malware and detonate it at your school. Get your grades changed. Boom, I own you. This one. Hey, you want an answer to your problem? Whatever your problem is, we got answers. Just download this software. It'll hook you up. Boom, I own you, right? So that's what's up. Yeah, thank you, Chris Whitlock. Always on the hold on. How can I show? I can't show this on. Unfortunately, this isn't in tenor. I can't. Damn it. I wish I could show you this. All right, we'll have to do it another time. Okay, so let's go.
Cyber diplomacy funding halted for the Bureau of Cyberspace and Digital Policy. In addition to the CISA Safety Review Board mentioned earlier, the incoming administration has also quickly frozen a number of foreign assistance programs, including the Bureau of Cyberspace and Digital Policy, which had been created in 2022 to, quote, serve as the focal point for cyber diplomacy against potential threats and pursue international norms on emerging technologies, end quote. Among its achievements to date were the sending of a first-of-its-kind cyber incident response team to Costa Rica, landing a subsea cable in Tuvalu, and delivering training workshops to members of the Vietnamese government focused on malicious North Korean activity. Nate Fick, who had been the first cyber ambassador for the US until his departure last Monday, described the Bureau as, quote, a diplomatic tool, not just to remediate cyber incidents, but to prove to partners the value of, quote, working with us and to build consensus against the malign actors that conduct these attacks, end quote.
All right. Thank you, B-dubs. Sorry, Kennedy. Exactly. And IT career questions is with me. Like, Zach is like literally next to me on the same bench. He's just rowing on the left side of the boat and I'm rowing on the right side as far as whether, being a Sigma's good or an Ohio Skibbity Riz. I don't know. Okay, so B-dubs is our translator. Skibbity Riz Ohio is a good thing. All right. Daily Cyber Threat Brief is Skibbity Riz Ohio. All right, so this should come as no surprise. The United States, under its current administration, again, not a political show, the current administration has stated that they're interested in basically saving money. There's the Department of Government Efficiency, which is looking to cut fat, basically, on spend. And, they're shoring up a lot of things, okay? And some of the things that they're talking about not spending money on is around international relations. So the U.S. State Department, which basically interfaces with other countries around the world on behalf of the United States, has deployed resources to Costa Rica to help that country. It has deployed lots and lots of money to Ukraine for resources in their fight against Russia, just all over the world. Like we as United States are very much interested in being like the world, dad, basically. Like, oh, like we're up in here. So this is, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. This is it right here. Okay. So this is me doing a hat tip to the threat actors. Oh my God. This is so... Okay, so if you don't know, this is from a short I made for Advent of Cyber to promote Try Hack Me's Advent of Cyber, the distinguished hacker. Not all hackers wear hoodies. Okay, so Marco Rubio sent a thing to all diplomats around the world. New obligations and disbursements are on pause until a review of efficiency. All right. So here's the deal. The final thing I'll say, okay? There is a lot of spend, all right? And in fact, actually, I don't even want to say it because it's not even cyber related. Here's the deal. There's a lot of cyber capabilities that we help with other countries around the world, developing countries, third world countries, first world countries. And the idea is that we are ensuring United States values and making friends around the world where we might come back for the, hey, like I did you that favor that time. That's all this is. So if we're pulling up the stakes on this one, it's really no different to me than, tightening your belt, right? Oh, you got your 2025 budget and it's actually 10% less than it was last year. Well, you better, sew a pork chop to a chicken wing and call it a meal because, you got to make do with what you got. So if this results in us as a United States being more deliberate about how we spend our money, then okay.
Pom Pom Purin to be resentenced after court vacates previous punishment. The infamous founder of the Breach Forums website, whose real name is Connor Brian Fitzpatrick, is to be resentenced for his actions in building what became the largest English-language cybercrime marketplace to date, with personal data, including social security numbers and bank details, from more than 14 billion individual records. A document filed in court on Tuesday, quote, found the court chose a lenient sentence, citing a diagnosis of autism and Fitzpatrick's age as mitigating circumstances, end quote. It was shown that while going through the legal process, he still violated the court's terms by accessing the internet through a VPN and messaging on Discord. In those chat rooms, he, quote, asserted his innocence regarding the crimes he had confessed to and made light of selling data to foreign nations, encouraging another user to become a foreign asset to China or Russia and to sell government secrets, end quote. The appeal filed by the US government signals that a new sentence could be much more harsh than the one originally issued last year.
Oh, wow. Jesus. All right. So I thought they were trying to like pull the stakes up on this guy and be like, oh, he's got autism. Like, let's cut him some slack. And I was going to lose my mind. Okay. Like, mental health is a real thing. And I'm glad that we have much more insights into it today, but you can't claim, innocence because of it, right? This dude was running like one of the largest underground dark web marketplaces for sharing stolen data. But it sounds like what they're trying to do is say that 20 years isn't enough of a punishment. And this dude needs more. If you remember that, first of all, really quickly, he must have pled guilty because this was like the fastest court case. Usually these court cases take forever, I feel like. And this one just happened, it felt like last year. Do you remember? I know this is episode 800, so maybe it's all merging together. But like, if you look, this is the landing page. If you went to Breach Forum's website, and you can see they actually added the avatars for the two admins and then put cartoon prison bars in front of them, which I thought was hilarious at the time.
Regulators, mount up.
And I remember saying like, oh, it looks like they got younger, like Gen Z FBI agents, because like someone had to go through the effort of like making these graphics and then adding them to the landing page. Not just, this isn't, your dad's FBI where you just put like a big sterile seizure notice on it. They put some time, some effort into here. They probably sat around over some beers talking about how to make this like hilarious. And the guy got arrested. And now it looks like he's violating his probation by going online, doing all the things. Let's see. James McQuiggan, congrats on 800. $80 super chat. Jeez. Wow. Congrats on 800. I'm getting a late start today after a crazy weekend of travel, presenting and watching some football. Episode 800. Congrats, Jerry, and what a fantastic achievement to you and the rest of the Simply Cyber community. Coffee cup cheers. My man, guys, if you don't know James McQuiggan, thanks, James, for the super chat. If you don't know James McQuiggan in chat, please say hello to @James McQuiggan @35,000 feet. That dude is great people. So this story doesn't really do anything for us one way or the other. What you should know is it's a great example of the F around and find out. If you want to be a cyber criminal threat actor, you really can have a lot of problems. I do want to point out Ross Ulbricht just got pardoned last week for running a underground dark web marketplace, a little different than breach forums, but so there is precedent both to have a very heavy sentence thrown at you, as well as precedents that you may be pardoned in some instances. So it's really more about just understanding the threat landscape and the adversary mentality, right? To me, that's what this story is, right? We're not going to take this story and introduce a new firewall rule or ask Wade Wells to put a detection together. This is just insight into the way that the cyber criminal underground works and what threat actors are doing and what, you got to put it in their mentality. Like, oh, like if I commit crime, I could do this. Like, okay. All right, let's keep going. Actually, I think that's the last story. Let's do this. Before we get going, I do want to say shout out to Barricade Cyber. Barricade Cyber Solutions, guys. If you don't know Barricade Cyber Solutions, they are a longtime sponsor. Love myself some Barricade Cyber. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil, but Barricade Cyber Solutions They know how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents, whether it's ransomware, business email compromise, or you just want to get something in place. That way, when your business catches fire, you've got a fire department all on speed dial, and you've got all the contracts and retainers in place. Don't go it alone. The day you deal with a real cyber threat actor is probably going to be the worst day of your business. So have a champion, have an ally right there on the sidelines with you. BarricadeCyber.com. Links in the description below. All right, guys, I want everyone to know, reminder, hold on one second. Do we have a show today? No. Reminder, this Friday, guys, this Friday, January 31st at noon, we are doing the quarterly update, State of Simply Cyber. Now, if you're a community member, thanks, Spinnerbait. If you are a community member or you're just interested in what we're doing here, this is a quarterly accountability meeting where I go live and I tell you what we've been doing, what you can expect, and if you would like to have influence on the directions that we're going, you can have your voice be heard there. You can also ask questions. I'm very transparent with everybody and with the community. I do serve this community, right? So I think of the community as my boss. Which is why I basically hold quarterly accountability meetings so you can be aware of what is going on. Thank you all so very much for the well wishes around 800 episodes. It's amazing, and we're going to keep going. Wait until we get to episode 1000. We're going to have to do something epic. Epic. I don't know what yet. We got a couple days to figure it out, but episode 1000 is going to be fire. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere, because we are going to be doing jaw jacking. It is a 30-minute AMA where we answer all your questions as best we can. I'm seeing right now that we have a Simply Defensive at 9:30. I didn't see it. Oh, right here. YouTube is funny like that. Stay tuned. We're going to do jaw jacking AMA, and then right after that, we're going to do Simply Defensive at 9:30 a.m. This is Josh Mason and Wade Wells, Sans Mustache, your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. So stay tuned. We got a great show for you. Great programming. Don't go anywhere. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until jawjacking in 15 seconds, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right. Hey, what's up? How you doing? My name is Jerry Guy, coming at you every single day with the Jawjacking. What do we do here? I answer your questions. I've got a bunch of experience, not as much as that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Oh my God, what a zero. Ooh, likelihood and impact grid. Did you hear that nerd talking about heat maps? Ugh, what a zero. But in all honesty, y'all, I am here to help you as best I can. If I can't help you, there's somebody in chat who absolutely can help you. I promise. We got the mod team. We got people like Zach Hill, IT Career Questions, senior people, Real Bilbo, Chuck Sapp. Guys, we got so many people with so much experience. Episode 1000, I don't know if it'll be around Deadwood. Just to remind everybody, I have locked it in. All right, Swims with Sharks, we'll talk about AI. I have locked it in for at Wild West Hackin' Fest, so Deadwood, South Dakota, this year, so like in probably October, we will be doing the Daily Cyber Threat Brief live from Dale's Sportsbook, live on location, big screens behind me, comfy seats in front of me. You could be sitting in one of those comfy seats. I hope you are. And it's going to be awesome. So even if it's episode 875, we are going to kick it like a bunch of bosses. All right, hold on. Somebody asked about the... So DP says, is it episode 800 for jawjacking? Probably not. We didn't start doing jawjacking We haven't done jaw jacking as long as the show itself. All right. Wow, Angular's been here since episode 15. Love it. Couple people are here episode 1. Base Case was here for episode 1. All right, so Swims the Shark says, let's talk about AI you mentioned earlier. I'll spend just a minute on this, guys. So right now, OpenAI released something over the weekend, but it's really been the thing probably for the last 6 months. At least it's been on my radar. There is something called agents, AI agents or operators, depending on what you want to call it. Now, I'm not super geeked up on the OpenAI one, but make.com and 8n8 are like the two that I'm hearing about, and I'm actually playing with, or it's N8N. Okay, hold on one second. Let me just show you this really quickly. They're not a sponsor. I'm not promoting it. I'm just telling you. This is it. N8N, okay? And it's basically like this. You basically drop things in and you make like workflows and it goes off and does things. And for me, you can have it be like, you know, this workflow sends emails. This workflow takes text messages. This workflow does something when something happens, right? It's almost like orchestration, except you can get really crazy with it. And I'm playing with it because I really believe that, well, first of all, to help me scale, right? Because it's hard, if you do everything manually, it's hard to scale. So this is trying to help me scale. And as well as, I guarantee you, I promise you, businesses are going to be using agents very soon if they're not already doing it. And I want to understand how agents are, what they look like, how do they work, what are they? Because you have to create tokens and session keys and crap for the things to interface with other systems over APIs. So, anyways, it's very interesting. Come check it out. If anyone has any thoughts about Make or N8N, let me know. All right, Kimberly can fix it. 3 years. Thank you, Kimberly. It's so wild to me to have 3 years. Like, it doesn't even seem like it's been that long. All right, so White Hat Wes says, what is the best way to learn more about becoming more efficient with patching? You gotta patch it. Currently having to patch manually, but feel like I'm grasping at straws figuring out what to patch. Yeah, 100%, dude. First of all, White Hat Wes, much love. Much love. I feel like vulnerability management analysts are low-key, unsung heroes. It's very easy to get apathetic. Justin Gold, 34 months. It's very easy to get apathetic with vulnerability management, and Wes is hitting it, grasping at straws. The way I tell students about vulnerability management is, think of it like this. It's like, imagine, if you will, a dump truck comes to your house or your, parking lot or wherever you're living. And meaning that you stay in like a condo or townhouse or apartments or something, not that you live in a driveway, parking lot. So dump truck comes and dumps a pile of dirt, right? Or mulch, or whatever, rocks, doesn't matter. And they're like, there's your pile. And you're like, oh, great. And they're like, you just got to shovel it and then put it in a wheelbarrow and go dump it around the back of the house or in the woods. And you're like, got it. And you start shoveling and you feel great. You're like, oh, I'm getting a workout. It's sunny out. I'm getting a little tan. I'm going to be shredded. Getting a free workout here. This is great. And then at the end of the week, you like dab your brow and you're like, oh my God, the pile's almost gone. I feel good. Look at these accomplishments. And then someone comes and dumps another pile and you're like, okay, shovel. And then like, you don't even get like a quarter of the way down through the pile and another dump truck comes. And then you look down the street and you just see 50 dump trucks and you're like, oh my God, there's no end. This is Groundhog Day. This is my life now. Okay, that's what vulnerability management analysts are. Now, White Hat Wes says, how do I become more efficient at patching? Two things. One, Wes, what I would recommend is I would prioritize bad vulnerabilities. So you can use EPSS, Echo Papa Sierra Sierra, EPSS, to get a value on how likely that vulnerability is to be exploited in the next 30 days. EPSS for specific ones. That's one way to prioritize. Secondly, I would prioritize your internet-facing exposed surfaces, okay? So your internet-facing assets, your firewalls, your routers, your VPNs, your Citrix gateways, your web servers, your email gateways, your cloud, like whatever you have that's internet-facing, you should prioritize that because it has the largest attack surface with the largest threat base that can attack it. Things internal to your organization, yes, you should be mindful of them. Mission critical file server, yeah, patch it. Mission critical application, yeah, patch it. But your internet facing assets, and oh, by the way, your workforce that is on the like that's travels or whatever, like sales guys, salespeople, you got to watch out for the salespeople. They'll open anything. Oh, it's a deal. Let's go. Click, click, click. Right? You got to be careful of that. So hopefully, hey, take care, Jenny Housley. So I hope that helps you, Wes. Thank you, DJ BSEC. Oh, wait, hold on. Alex says, how or who in an organization determines when to roll out patches? What happens when, let's say, Microsoft releases a critical update patch out of normal release? All right, so Alex, it depends on the size of the organization. If you're a smaller business and you've got some authority, you can say, you can go full John Taffer and be like, shut it down. John Taffer from Bar Rescue, he regularly goes in and yells, shut it down. He shuts the whole bar down for the night. If you're a large organization, like, an enterprise or something, you can't do that because the gears of business will literally grind you into a pulp if you try to do that. If it's really bad, what you need to do is you need to get the business stakeholders or the application owners to agree to it. A lot of times, we in cyber do not apply the patches. If you're a larger organization, IT applies the patches. We run the vulnerability scanners and see how bad the exposures are, but IT has to do it. This is where maintenance windows happen and stuff like that. So this is one of those ones where, like, say there's a really bad 0-day, like the Progress Move It software that got exploited by Clop ransomware. This is one of those ones where if you say the sky is falling all the time, or you cry wolf all the time, no one's going to really listen to you. So you have to pick and choose your battles. If you have something that you truly believe is a existential threat to your business, that's when you go to the top of the mountain and you scream out, we got a problem here. And you basically cash in some of that political capital. That's what's up. So, Alex, it depends on the size of the organization, and it depends on, how, this is where, basically experience comes into play. How bad is it really, and are you willing to, basically die on that hill? All right. HQ Production says, are there any new good GRC certs as AI is becoming more prevalent and bigger concern amongst the industry? In GRC, what's the best way to prepare for AI? Good question. That reminds me. Hold on, I got to take a note right now. Excuse me 1 second. I got to take a note. Okay. Mail flag. And then Sans AI. I actually was asked over the weekend. Sans is working on an AI governance policy, thought leadership document, and they actually asked me to review it and provide my input. Woo! So I have to do that. What I would do, HQ Productions, and what I have done actually, is I would get familiar with I think this is the best option right now. Hold on, there's two here. Here we go. Number one, HQ Productions, is the MIT AI Risk Repository. And I'm actually really pumped to say that I have a video for that. Hold on, that's the wrong tab. Simply Cyber. I got a video for that right here. AI risk realized. So I'm going to drop a bunch of links, HQ production, okay? First of all, here is my video on AI risk repo, okay? So watch that video, and it's about this repository. So those two go together. Okay. Then NIST, I heart NIST. Like, I love NIST so much that we have an emote for the community here. GRC Mafia and I heart NIST. Guys, not gonna lie, GRC Mafia is like low-key taking over. They have guidance here around AI risk management frameworks. The NIST, NIST AI 600. So NIST actually, I didn't even realize this, dude. NIST actually has, like, you know, there's NIST Special Publications, SP. Well, it looks like NIST has an entire AI designation now, right there. NIST AI 600. So what I would do is I would get familiar with this as well. HQ Productions. Great question. All right, next question. All right, we got 9 minutes left of question opportunity. Thank you, DJ BSEC behind the glass pinning comments. What's the best way to learn? Oh, I already answered this. Swims with sharks. Let's talk about AI. I already did that. Would you say GRC is annoying, brother, that nobody listens to? No. Listen, GRC. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys what's up. Listen, GRC Mafia is gonna recognize. I'm not trying to gate with anyone, okay? But if you are, you have to be very selective and very tactical about, or not tactical, strategic with how you integrate GRC into the other parts of the business and within the information security capability at a company. I have been in meetings before with red teamers where I mention awareness training, and literally they roll their eyes. Like, I think it was a reaction that they couldn't control. Like, it was like a, you know, just I don't know what to call it, like a micro expression where they were like, oh. And I'm like, I like called them out. I'm like, whoa, like, I get it. It's not a technical control. It's not some elite 0-day Mimikatz move or something like that. But you know what? When I tell Carl about QR codes and not to do stupid stuff with QR codes, Carl's not going to do dumb stuff with QR codes. So you can send your QR code fish through. And because I did my boring eye roll awareness training, you're not going to get a foothold on the box. All right. So, but if all day, every day, you're coming at people with GRC about like, oh, you know, like, I'll give you an example. Hold on. I'll give you an example here. If you say to somebody, if you come at someone right now, you're like, just got hired as a GRC analyst, and you go into a meeting with, like, I don't know, the executives or general counsel or something, and you're like, hello. And they're like, hi, we're super pumped you're here bringing security to us. And I'm like, yeah, we love it. And they're like, well, what can we do for you? And you're like, yes, I would like to know if you have developed, documented, and disseminated an access control policy that addresses purpose, scope, roles, responsibilities, management, commitment, coordination among organizational entities, and compliance. And I'm hoping that you have procedures to facilitate the implementation of said controls at this organization. You know, it's pretty important that this policy reflects applicable federal laws, executive orders, directives, regs, policy standards, and guidance. They're going to look at you and tell you to get the hell out of their office and not to look at them directly in the eyes again, because they're going to, like, literally give you the Heisman and be like, you out. Okay? You've got to be real. You've got to be able to talk like a regular person about what the controls are. That's the superpower of GRC. We get to take the wicked technical, the controls, the security, all the things, and we put it through the black box that no one can see into, the opaque box, and we use the lever that cranks it out of the Play-Doh, right? You shove the Play-Doh in one side, and you got like a cool little star shape on the other, and GRC is pulling that Play-Doh lever down, and out pops a star. And the star is what the business understands. They're like, oh, yeah, why didn't you just say that? And you're like, yeah. That is what GRC does. And if you can't do that, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not gating you, but I'm telling you, you got to work on that, or else you go back to my first example of them telling you, get the hell out. All right, let's keep going. 5 minutes. Tell Simply Defensive. Is theory, okay, in theory, can super AI can take over quantum computers? Gil. Yes, in theory, super AI can take over quantum computers. Yes, 100%. Because to me, those are two different things, right? Like quantum computers are just technology that is able to, basically be faster, stronger, whatever. AI is replicating human consciousness, right? So it's not like, so if you get a Sentinel AI, it's going to take advantage of all the things, right? Oh my God. Terminator, The Matrix. All right, we got 4 minutes. I don't see any questions in chat, so I can just rap at you. Ooh, James Randolph saying he got the wrong tooth. Swims of Shark says, I was at a party and told a pal I'm in the unsexy cyber job, GRC, when a CEO overheard and told me how important policies are to her business, GRC Mafia. That's right. I got to tell you guys, what you got to do is you got to act like GRC, like it's just like we've normalized it. Guys, I'm telling you, there's been a lot of people doing it, but I've been working for 4 years, 4 long years to make GRC normalized. And I think we've gotten there, right? Now people want to work in it. People are hiring for it. It's an industry standard. Sentence, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It has its own consciousness. AI thinks it's a thing. Veggie Broth, I have a phone interview for a qualified security auditor consultant role this morning. Any tips? Yeah. What I would say, Veggie Broth, hold on, let me get this question up. What I would say, Veggie Broth, is, actually, you know what, Veggie Broth? I don't know, you said this morning, so you better get your butt in gear. But let me show you this really quickly. This is free. Can I hold on one second? I literally hold on. Give me 1 second. I have like I have a banger of an answer for you. It's just gonna give me a second, okay? Because I suck at doing these things. Stand by. This is going to be a great answer for you. Only 91 people have taken advantage of this, huh? Interesting. All right, hold on. Okay, cool. Check this out, Veggie Broth. And I'm going to drop a link in chat. Literally, I put this, hold on. Where's at Veggie Broth? Listen, this is a literal infographic I made the other day that shows you the entire process from start to finish of an audit. If you're interviewing for a QSA role, download this graphic. It's free, absolutely free. Download it and then look at it. Have it up on the interview. It's a phone interview, right? Here's a link. 5 steps. Prep. The prep is super important. Getting all the interviews in place is super important. All right. Crap balls. Hold on 1 second. All right, so this is going to premiere in a hot second. Good luck to you. Galia Libin. I actually have a video on the channel called, hold on 1 second. Simply Cyber GRC Portfolio. Okay, bye. Bye, DJ BSEC. Thank you. I have this video right here called How to Stand Out with a GRC Portfolio. It gives you three different labs you can do. Oh my God. Here you go. Who asked that question? Gala. All right, guys, we got the premiere going right now. So let's go. Everybody, thanks so much. Let's go raid Simply Defensive. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. And until next time, stay secure.